It's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the new Ravener Brood Kill Team from Kill Team Typhon that Games Workshop very kindly sent me early to build up and paint with all of you, and that is exactly what we are doing today. So a massive thank you to them, and we are going to be painting up the Typhon Tyranids as Hive Fleet Typhon, which I know is something that a lot of you have been waiting for a long time. So we would go through everything as is important, but we will mostly focus here on the champion, for lack of a better word, and they have all been primed in grey Seer. So we're just going to pop these ones all to one side, like so, and then what we're going to do is the very first colour that we're going to be using is a roughly 2 parts Space Wolves Grey to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. Now, we're going to be applying this over the top of all of the kind of bright skin, basically. And this is going to include the kind of slightly darker areas towards the, what are they called? Anyway, shoulders. But what we will do is we will avoid the faces for now, because it's a completely different colour. So what we will do is we will start down here, I reckon, on the tail is the word I was looking for, and we're just going to start getting this all over. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Lahmian Medium and Tyran Blue, and we're just going to apply this over top of the soft, well, I guess it's the harder parts actually of the soft skin, but we're not going to apply this over top of those kind of ribs or like the wrists and things where we've applied the Space Wolves Grey. Just want to get just a touch of warmth into these areas, like so. With that Tyran Blue all applied, we're then going to take a roughly 2-to-1-to-1 mix of Lahmian Medium, Ultramarines Blue, and Leviadon Blue. And we're going to apply this over top of those darker blue areas that you see on the box art. So this is going to be the ribs of the Raveners, the top kind of biceps of all of their arms, That's it. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Drakenhof Nightshade. And we're going to use this to add just a little bit of shading around any of the areas that we want to be just a little bit darker in the softer tissue. So we're going to apply this over the top of, for example, that horn just there. We're going to wash the brush, touch off the water, and we're just going to give it the quick blends so that it has a harsh drying line. But for things like this wrist here, for example, we're going to apply the Drakenhof Nightshade, like so. Giving us our 3 distinct blues. So with that all done, we're now going to dry brush all of this blue. And the colour we're going to be using to do that is some Fenrisian Grey. Now we're just going to go over the top of all of the blue. Just like this. Now when it comes to like kind of the smoother open areas, what we can do is we can kind of do this in a circular motion. Going clockwise, then anti-clockwise. To just kind of try and avoid any unseemly scrapes. This will just start to smooth it out, bring it up to the colour we want it to be. And with that Fenrisian Grey all applied, we're then going to take some Blue Horror. I'm going to give this a really gentle dry brush over the top of the whole of the blue. With those dry brushes applied, we've actually pretty much broken the back of most of the miniature. So what we're going to start doing now is blocking in the rest of the colours. And the first of these is going to be some Black Legion. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply this over top of any of the hard carapace. With all of that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Sigvald Burgundy. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of the claws. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take 2 colours, Seraphim Sepia and Doomfire Magenta. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply the Seraphim Sepia over the top of the face, and then we're going to blend in some Doomfire Magenta. And then we're also going to use the Doomfire Magenta to do some other stuff. So we're going to start with the Seraphim Sepia, and we're going to apply this like so over the top of the face. Like this. Bring it down the neck as well. There we go. I'm going to wash the brush, grab a little Doomfire Magenta, and then basically around the back part of the head we're going to apply the Doomfire like so. Bring it down the neck as well. There we go. Wash the brush. Grab a little Seraphim Sepia and just blend out that Doomfire like so. There we go. We're going to do the same thing on this fin up here. So Seraphim Sepia first. Just like that. Wash the brush. And then grab that Doomfire Magenta. Not that much. And you apply this. Like so. Wash the brush. Back to some Seraphim Sepia. And just along there. You just want to blend it so the Doomfire ends up closer to the head than it does to the top of the fin. Like so. So, the other thing that we are going to do with the Doomfire Magenta is we're going to apply this over the top of any kind of remaining bits of flesh, like this one, just here. There we go. And I'm going to apply this inside these little gaps. So with that all done, we've also applied the Seraphim Sepia over all of the parts that are going to be yellow. And what we are in fact going to do is make them yellow now by taking some Casandora Yellow and applying this over the top of said features. And so with that Casandora Yellow applied, we're then going to take some Guilliman Flesh. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of the tongues. And for our final base coat, I'm going to take a teensy tiny amount of Gryph-Hound Orange. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of their eyes. And so with that all done, we're going to apply a single shade. It's going to be some Carroburg Crimson. And we're going to be applying this over the top of the claws. And we're going to apply this over the top of the tongues and teeth. So with that all done, our Raveners are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and they're looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave them there, of course not. We're going to take them to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some highlights. Now, the first of these is going to be some thinned down Dawnstone, and we're going to use this to highlight all of the black details. Now, if you want to, you can dry brush this instead. However, we are going to do some line highlighting here. It is entirely up to you. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Screaming Skull, and we're going to use this to pick out the teeth and highlight the yellow. And with that all done, we're then going to take some Fulgrim Pink, and we'll use this to highlight the Doomfire Magenta in the gaps in the flesh. And so with that all done, we're now going to finish off our Raveners by taking some thinned down Wazdakka Red. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the claws. And so with those bases now complete, our Raveners in the scheme of Hive Fleet Typhon are now finished. At long last. I think they look absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we've finally done Hive Fleet Typhon, and the new Raveners just look amazing. I've faced quite a few of these in Space Marine 2, so I kind of hate them just a little bit. But the new models are exceedingly lovely. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.